Hey, what's up? This is DJ Matt, and welcome to Sports Shop DJ Matt. As always, DJ Echo is here.
Yo,
Hope y'all guys had a blessed Thanksgiving. We have some football games to discuss. Not a lot of basketball, but we do have some basketball toward the end of the show. Not a lot, not much really happened, but we have some stuff to talk about. But anyway, let's get to the biggest story. I think, at least for us, the Saints played Denver at Denver, which Sean Payton has never beaten Denver. The Saints hadn't beaten Denver, I think, since the '90s, right? Something like that. It was something
I,
like that. We haven't beaten Denver in a while. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, to be fair, we really don't play Denver that often.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, that's very true. But I mean, still, that's the only team Sean Payton hasn't really beaten. So it was kind of a big game in a way. But then we found out that Jeff Driscoll had the COVID, who is a former quarterback, I think, at LA Tech, if I'm not mistaken. He was a quarterback there. Been in the league a
I
while.
think so.
Yeah.
I think
He was
so.
back up, and he got the COVID. And then all the other quarterbacks, being stupid, I guess, didn't have their masks on near him, so they were all, put on the COVID list. Although it turned out that none of them had COVID afterwards.
But I mean,
Still, you have to be safe, and so they put him on the COVID list. So they were out for Sunday, which means the Broncos had no quarterback. So, so they brought up a practice squad receiver who used to play quarterback at Wake Forest, Kendall Hinton, I believe his name was.
yeah, that was his name.
And yeah, but here's the thing though. Even though it felt good, it was like, yeah, the Saints should win this game. That was my problem. The Saints should win this game. I was like, if we lose this game, I swear to God.
Yeah, and I mean,
I was really
the
worried.
the offense did not play as good. I mean, of course, the defense really didn't have to try. I mean, they were going up against a running only team. All you had to do was stuff the box 24/7, you were fine.
Yeah.
Offense didn't do as good as I would have liked them to, but I mean, at the end of the day, and I say this every single time we talk about how good or not a game was. At the end of the day, a win's a win. It doesn't say how bad that win was. It doesn't say how
Yeah.
commanding you beat your opponent. It just says W or L. So I think it's all right, but I don't know.
Yeah. So actually, technically, that quarterback didn't even start the game. They put Philip Lindsay first. They were doing Wildcats for a couple plays, and then they put in Hinton afterwards.
Yeah, and then Philip
Um,
Lindsay got hurt. So
I know a lot of people, I think, were a little disappointed by the Saints' offense, at least with what Taysom was doing. But I was listening to the press conferences afterwards, and it seemed as if that was kind of the plan, though. Like they knew that the Denver wasn't gonna have that much of offense. So the Saints probably felt like we don't have to necessarily try to be that great on offense. Like we just have to move the ball and score whenever we can. Like I feel like they kind of held Taysom back a little bit because he only threw the ball I think maybe 14 or 15 times. It wasn't like he threw it like in Atlanta. So I think they kind of held back a little bit on the offensive side of the ball, in my opinion. That's the way it seemed. So I can't be too mad at Taysom for not having a great game, because afterwards Taysom was like, this was the kind of game I expected it to be. So I think that was the game plan going in, look, their defense is going to probably dominate. So offensively, we don't have to try we don't have to try to be this deep ball. We just have to just don't turn the ball over and score when we can. Run the ball, make sure the run game's good. Murray had a great game. Davis Murray had a great game. It's probably his best game of the
oh
season.
yeah.
So I think that was the plan going in, honestly. So that's why offense looked the way it did.
But I mean, look, that guy, Hintel, he has something to be proud of. He scored the same
Oh,
amount
yeah.
of points that Tom Brady did against the Saints defense not too long ago. So I mean, he has something to be proud of.
I'll be honest with you. I was happy the Saints won. I don't know. That game made me sad. I felt bad for the kid. I felt like it was unfair. It was really unfair. They should have just forfeited, honestly, because
Honestly, and look, this is the thing that I wanted to talk about. It's like this really shows the NFL, like the Broncos legitimately don't have any quarterbacks on their roster, and the NFL's like, nah, you're gonna play that game.
yeah,
And then the Baltimore Ravens have Lamar Jackson out, but have backups on the roster. No, we could keep pushing this game back.
that game's today. That game's supposed to be Thanksgiving, and it's today.
Yeah. Today it is currently Wednesday, December the 2nd at 9:40.
Game's at 2:30 today, I think.
Game was supposed to happen on Thanksgiving, has yet to happen. So it's just like I don't know. I'm not calling favoritism.
They have 13 straight work days now, because during the week you get an off day or two during the week.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a game today, then they have a game on Monday, which is basically the equivalent of playing on Thursday than playing on Monday, basically.
Yeah.
It's that close, and then they got to play the Sunday. So that whole week like 13 days straight. I think they said like they don't have an off day. So Steelers got screwed twice because they were forced into an early bye, I think in week 4 because
Yeah.
of the Titans thing. So
Hmm.
now they got screwed again with the Ravens. So I mean, yeah.
I
It's
don't
weird.
know. I mean, honestly, I think the Ravens have like 18 players on the COVID list. At that point, just forfeit the game. I
They're
don't
gonna
know.
lose anyway. I mean, the Steelers are undefeated. They got
Yeah, I was talking about that to somebody, and he was saying like they should just forfeit. I was like, look, let's be honest. The Ravens were probably going to lose that game anyway. I mean, of course they could have won, but with 18 players on the COVID list, I just don't see it.
like at first I was like they shouldn't forfeit, but after watching the game, the Denver game, and I saw that George Jenkins was a little kind of hobbled. And I think Philip Lindsay got hurt too. I was like,
Yeah,
we're playing a game that we know the Saints are going to win, and these guys are getting hurt for what? You know what I mean? I felt
nothing.
like for the health situation, like this game, we could have not have played this game. I think people would have stayed healthy. You know,
Yeah.
so I feel like I don't know. The NFL just cares about money, I guess, and they do play favoritism. Like we know this by now. It's
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of upsetting because now instead of the Broncos being able to just say, "Look, we don't have any quarterbacks. Let's just not play the game," Saints get a week to rest. Broncos get a week to rest. Instead, they played a meaningless game, and their starting running back got hurt.
Yeah. You know what they should have did too? Because they were talking about how like they could move the Steelers Ravens to like a week 18. They should have moved the Broncos Saints game, I think, to maybe a week 18. I wouldn't have mind playing them down later down the road, have all their
No,
quarterbacks. You know what I mean? That way
yeah,
it's a more fair game, you know?
yeah,
Um, so I'm glad the Saints won, but I felt bad. I felt bad for the Broncos. I really did. I felt like it really wasn't that fair. It's just it is what it is. I'm happy we got the dub. I got all the respect in the world for the Broncos, though. I got to be honest. I do have respect for them. Like that was tough. Like and they played pretty hard though. Like you could tell they were trying. It's
I
just
mean, I mean, I mean, the defense was playing pretty good, for the Broncos. I mean, of course, the offense was as good as you would expect an offense without a quarterback.
and
But
they didn't get shut out. So I mean that's something. I think that's something to be proud of. You didn't get shut out.
yeah, I mean, they scored the same points as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they scored those 3 points sooner. So I mean, got
Oh,
to be something to be proud of.
there you go. Speaking of the Buccaneers, so the Chiefs played the Buccaneers, and Tyreek Hill put up 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Um,
Put
um,
up 57 fantasy points.
yeah, ridiculous. Um, so who's more at fault here? Is it Brady or Arians? And I say both, but I can't believe I'm at this position right now with this. I'm starting to kind of defend Tom Brady because I feel like Arians is his scheme just doesn't fit Tom Brady. It's like we talk about Drew Brees, how he doesn't throw the deep ball, right? They just check it down, intermediate passes, slants to Michael Thomas. That's their offense, right? But they win with that though. It works, so they do it. It fits what Drew Brees can do. Tom Brady's older, and you're asking him to throw the ball deep. I don't know how many times a game. In my opinion, they should actually do what the Saints do. I think they'd be more successful. That's what I'm starting to see. Because, like, Arians is making Brady throw the ball, I don't know how many yards down the field. And then their O-line's really banged up. So they don't have protection. So Brady's getting hit, I don't know how many times, which is causing turnovers, which is why they're losing. And their defense is regressed a little bit, but their offense is terrible right now.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess if anything, this really does show the decline of Tom Brady because you gotta think about he has the best offense he's probably ever had, and I mean he's had a lot of really he's had a lot of good guys. Like, notably off the top of my head, I can think of he's had Randy Moss, he's had Gronkowski, but he never really had a full offense. It was always you had a really good player or two, and then the rest was like no name guys that he made look really good. And you're like, oh, that's just because of Tom Brady. But now you're looking at him, and he's in Tampa Bay. He's got 3 really good wide receivers if Antonio Brown would play. He's got good tight ends. He's got good running backs. As you said, the offensive line is banged up. That's neither his fault nor Bruce Arians' fault. But if anything, this is kind of showing a point that I kind of knew, which is that Tom Brady is kind of a system quarterback. He needs the right system to be around him, which is any quarterback. But I think it kind of proves a point that a lot of us have known for years is that I think you can really attribute the success of the Patriots more to Bill Belichick than you can to Tom Brady. But anyway, speaking of the Buccaneers, I would put blame on both. Yes, Bruce Arians does need to kind of tailor made his offense more towards what he has, but at the same time, Tom Brady, if you're going to be the GOAT, you need to step up. You need to be a leader in the locker room. and there's videos of him getting pissed off at all of his teammates. But at what point do you accept the responsibility as the quarterback, as the obvious? If people are going to call you the GOAT, you need to step up and assume that responsibility, and you need to be a leader in the locker room. And it just doesn't seem like that's really going on too much right now. But
I think another thing too. This is why I blame it on Arians a little bit more than Brady, though. Although, like, I agree, Brady does deserve some blame. I'm not absolving Brady from anything. He needs to play better. There's no doubt. But Arians, they don't use the run game. Like against the Saints, they ran it how many times? 5, and one of them was a kneel down. And then
4 times.
Yeah. So the last game, I don't know how many. Like they only ran it maybe 9 or 10 times or something like that. Like you have Ronald Jones, who's a really good running back. Leonard Fournette can be a really good running back. Shady McCoy is a little bit past his prime. He's toward the end of his career. He's about to retire, but he can still produce. I think they don't utilize them. I feel like if they run the ball more, it would open up the pass, and maybe they can go deep sometimes. If they're too one-dimensional right now, and when you play teams like the Saints and the Rams, guys with good pass rushes. Tom Brady can't sit in the pocket for 5 or 6 seconds. They have to get the ball out of his hands quick. I think Arians needs to change the offense. I really do. Like his scheme is not working for Tom Brady, and I agree. Like he is a system quarterback. So if you're Bruce Arians, you see that okay, we're struggling. Change the system. It's on Arians to change the system to help Tom Brady. He's not doing him any favors. That's where I am with it.
Yeah, I'm there too. But at the end of the day, I mean, I just can't have a little bit of a smile to see the Buccaneers' recent failures after everybody just going from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to, I mean, I don't know how else to put it other than you. I mean, what the media became whenever it came to Tampa Bay. I mean, there are things that I would love to say about that, but obviously we can't say it here. But I don't know. I mean, I can't say I'm happy to see it happen after all these people just went to Tampa Bay for no reason. But
yeah, yeah, I'm kind of happy to see them kind of falling off a little bit. I mean, look, listen, they're on a bye this week, and the Saints play Atlanta again in Atlanta. Again, it could be a trap game again. Atlanta played really well against the Raiders. So it's not a gimme win, So
no, but it should be another win.
So if we win, we're gonna be 3 games ahead, 3 or 4 games ahead of the Buccaneers.
Something like that.
And there's only 5 games to go. No, not 5. 4. I think 4. I want to say 4. Something like that. Because we're in week 13. So after this week, you have 14, 15, 16, 4 games left. So we only have to win maybe 2 more games probably to clinch the division.
Right, and that's definitely doable. Yeah, we're coming into week 13.
Yeah, so the Saints are going to win this division. I don't see the Buccaneers doing anything to come back from that.
We would have to royally mess up.
Yeah. I know we do have the Chiefs coming up, and we do have the Vikings on Christmas Day. So those are 2 games that are going to be tough, I think. But I think if we at least win one of those games, which I think would be the Vikings game, would be the one we should win. But if we could somehow upset the Chiefs, that'd be pretty good. I wonder, that'd be great, but who knows? So the Lions played on Thanksgiving, and as they always do, and they sucked as always. They finally fired Matt Patricia, the head coach, and they fired the GM, Bob Quinn. So the Lions are a mess. They wasted Matt Stafford's career. They wasted Megatron's career. So
they wasted Barry Sanders' career. So, I mean, they're really good at that.
They're wasting everybody's career.
Yeah. I don't know. It's good for Lions fans. It's also bad for NFL fans because somehow Adam Gase is still employed.
Yeah, how?
I don't understand it.
I guess I think they really are trying to lose out, making sure they lose out. Keep them here because we're going to lose with them, so we can get Trevor. I think in the offseason they'll probably fire him. That's probably what they're waiting for.
Oh, God.
Make sure we get the number 1 pick, and then we'll get him out of here.
And then we'll get rid of him. We can't let him ruin. We can't let him ruin Trevor Lawrence. That's not a thing that can happen.
I don't think it doesn't matter who the coach is. They're going to ruin him anyway. It doesn't matter who the coach is. Yeah. Matt Stafford, I really want him to go to a different team. Like, he needs to go somewhere. Like, I feel so bad for him because I love Matthew Stafford. Right? He's one of my favorite quarterbacks. It's just they wasted him, man. Like he signed that contract, a really high contract, and you got a lot of money, so you can't be too mad at it, I guess. But at the same time, it's like at some point you do want to win. You know.
I don't know. I saw an argument over the weekend. It wasn't for NFL. It was for NBA. I think it was an ex NBA player, and they were talking about like people who get lesser contracts to play. I think to play like on like for example on the Lakers, like people who take lesser contracts to play on the Lakers to get rings, like for this season or for last season. And there was an ex NBA player. He said, I respect the people more who go to teams that they know aren't going to win the finals, but they get more money because at the end of the day, it's more important to be financially stable than to get a ring. Because if you're a guy who gets just one ring, you go to like the Warriors. If you were a guy who went to the Warriors for the past like 4 years ago, and you got a ring, but like you got a smaller paycheck. I mean, in the long run, it would have been better for you to go to, let's say, a Chicago Bulls and get a much better contract, get more money because you're going to be better after the NBA. So I mean, I guess I kind of see the argument. Sometimes I feel like it's better to get the money, but if you're one of those people who care about your legacy, then yeah, playing for the Detroit Lions is not the best way to go.
Well, here's the thing that I'll say about that though. It's tough for professional athletes to say that because like even though you're not getting paid like the big bucks, you're still getting paid at least $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. Not like you're not getting paid millions. You're still getting paid millions. So so most Americans make what? Barely 60,000, maybe.
I don't know, like
I don't
70,
even know.
80,000.
Yeah. So I mean, you're still getting paid like more than 10 times what a normal person makes. So I mean, that's where I'm like, you're still getting paid $1 million. Like, I mean, what
Yeah, but
paid $1 million
the
win-win.
yeah, but the culture of the NBA and NFL players, the way that they spend their money, even though like they're getting more money, most of them still end up being bankrupt because they're not being taught how to spend money. So I mean, it doesn't matter if they're being paid $1 million or $120 million or $80,000 a year. Either way, they're probably going to end up bankrupt because they're not taught how to properly spend that money and properly use that money. So I mean, at the end of the day, might as well go for the more money.
I guess. I mean, obviously you want as much money as you can get. I'm not, but I think the argument whether you would rather have rings or money, either way, if you're gonna get money no matter which path you choose. It's not like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you're gonna get money, but I mean, I guess what people are saying is that rings aren't a substitute for X amount of money because yeah, I mean, us people who really don't make that kind of money, we kind of look at these people and it's like, oh, you're making 64 million versus 69 million. I mean, what's the difference? But to these guys, that's like
Yeah.
important. So yeah, I'm one to criticize. It's like, why don't you just shut up and take the money? You're making over $120 million over 4 years, but at the same time, for these people, it's a different environment, it's a different culture to where that it's important to get that money because these people, they're not, I'm not going to say pressured, but they end up buying lavish things. They have expensive cars, they have expensive houses, they have expensive clothes and stuff like that, so they need this money to maintain these things that they've gotten. I mean, you're not going to tell me, for most people, that if you came into the contract that Gordon Hayward just got, for example, you're not going to tell me that if you came into money like that, you would instantly want to, there's not some things that you wouldn't want to get, upgrade a laptop, upgrade a PC, get a better house, maybe you're running on fumes on a car, and you're not going to tell me that you would want to get a nice car, so this is the environment that these guys are in. And so I guess the argument of, I would go for the more money. I would play on a Charlotte Hornets and get $120 million over 4 years versus signing a 4-year, $30 million contract to play with the Lakers, and I'll probably get a ring. But at the end of the day, the ring isn't going to bring me more money. So I don't know. That's just where I stand on it. But I get
I get
coming
it.
back to what we're talking about. I would like to see Matthew Stafford play on a better team.
Yeah. So like, let's think about the quarterbacks that are probably on the move this offseason. So you got Matt Stafford, I think should be on the move. I don't know if he is or isn't, but he should be. Matt Ryan's a guy that I think would be on the move. Jimmy Garoppolo, I think would be a name too. He'd probably be on the move. Don't know about Aaron Rodgers yet, because I mean he still has a couple years left in his deal. I don't know how fast I want to move to Jordan Love. I wouldn't move to Jordan Love for another 3 years, but who knows what Green Bay's doing. Carson Wentz could maybe be on the move if
Ooh,
they
God,
decide
I
to
don't
move
know
him.
that Eagles need to do something about that quarterback situation. Honestly, they got to do something.
And then Dak, if Dak doesn't get, a deal, which I think at this point he will, that's but not to. But if somehow he's available, so there's a lot of quarterbacks I think that will end up on the move this offseason. And Cam Newton too, if Cam Newton might be on the move again also.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, if Dak doesn't get a deal, I think some Dallas Cowboy fans might come out of the trance and realize, like, hey, maybe we should
Right.
stop being fans of the Cowboys.
And I would ride with them. I'd go with them. I'd be like, I'd be in the streets in Dallas saying, "Give Dak a deal." You're like, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I'm like, Dak's like the best quarterback you've had since probably Aikman. I mean, I think right now Dak's better than Romo ever was. If you
Yeah,
ask
look, at this point, you're not going to tell me that he was putting up really good numbers and then he goes down and all of a sudden, I mean, the Cowboys weren't winning games, but they were in these games. You know,
me.
these
Oh
were not blown out. And then now all of a sudden you're getting blown out by the Washington football team. Like, oh, come on now. I mean, and no disrespect to the Washington football team, but you're getting blown out by the Washington football team. Like,
they don't even have a name, and you're getting blown up by them.
yeah. Honestly, I saw a name suggestion. And what they need to do is instead of the Washington football team, they need to be the Washington football team. Like Ohio State, and every
Like,
single time they do like the college that they're from, they're always from the Ohio State. Washington needs to do that.
yeah, I think they're talking about keeping the name like that too. Just
Yeah,
keeping.
honestly,
I mean, I don't
I
hate it.
think that's so demoralizing as a team. Like imagine like the Chiefs one week they just get upside by the Washington football team. At that point, you're just where did it go wrong?
They should really change it to Washington FC, Washington Football Club. I know it's like a soccer thing, but like Washington FC. That
I
sounds.
guess I don't know.
I don't know. So yeah. So another firing. Jaguars, they fire their GM Dave Caldwell. They need to fire their coach. Was it Doug Marone? He needs to go
I
too.
I, I think it's Doug Marrone.
Yeah, yeah. The Jaguars are an interesting team. I don't know. I guess they're playing for Justin Fields or Trey Lance or somebody like that. Unless the Jets win 2 games for some reason and they Jaguars end up being number one pick, which it could happen. That's such a Jets thing. It could happen. I don't know.
Yeah, that is a Jets thing. I mean, they're so bad they would get second pick. I don't know.
I don't know. But it's between Jets and Jaguars for number one pick. I don't know. But I don't know. The Jaguars, like what, 3 or 4 years ago, they were in the championship game.
I think it was three. I think it was the year that we played Minneapolis and the Minneapolis Miracle happened. I think that was 2017.
Yeah. So how far they have fallen so quickly. And they went there with Blake Bortles. So you know that they had a team where like the quarterback, like even though like Blake Bortles kind of a joke, I mean, they
It,
still
it was it was it was because of that defense, and then
they blew up that
eh,
deep. Like they traded
and
Jalen
then
Ramsey, they traded I
yeah.
don't know who else. Ngakwe, I think, was on there and they traded him.
hmm I
I
mean, everyone was just gone. I mean, they really don't.
don't
I
know.
mean, right now they have Robinson, but I mean, he's playing good, but I mean,
Yeah, it's Jaguars are a weird team. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't think the GM is really the problem, but if that's I
I
mean,
don't know. I
that's
think I
another
think I think
problem.
what needs to happen is that teams and they need to rebuild properly because what happens is that they'll rebuild, they get the first overall pick, and then they'll get a guy like Trevor Lawrence, and then all of a sudden, we're out of rebuild. We're trying to win now. And it's like your offensive line is still garbage. You don't have a defensive line, so you're not getting to the quarterback. Your secondary is trash. You have no weapons for this quarterback. And I'm not saying that that's what's happening in Cincinnati because he definitely has weapons, but I mean, offensive line is trash. Defense isn't really anything to scoff out. If you would have continued to rebuild, it'd be fine. But no, because Jets will get in Trevor Lawrence, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, let's. But no, whenever you're in the draft, if you don't have a guy that you want to get a really good skill player, start building up that offensive line, and then later on in the draft, try and find steals. Alvin Kamara was drafted in the third round. He was not drafted in the first round. So
You
I
can
don't even think
them later in the draft.
Michael Thomas, I think, was drafted in the second round or something. So you don't have to get that first round number one overall pick to build up your offense, to build up your defense. But I think teams like the Jaguars, teams like the Jets, teams like the Lions should really take a let's give it a few years approach. Let's build in the draft. Let's take offensive linemen. Let's build
Yeah.
up our defense before we start worrying about really cementing and committing to a quarterback. But they're not going to do that. They're going to get a guy like Trevor Lawrence, and then they're going to be ready to go with.
The Bengals should definitely draft an O-line with their first pick. There's no doubt. Like the guy from Oregon, I think is the top-rated lineman in the draft. Because the Bengals are going to get the fourth pick, maybe third or fourth pick, fifth pick, something like that. They did. I don't think the Jaguars are taking a lineman. The Jets are not. I don't know who
No,
else would be. I don't know. I don't know all the records by heart, but
Yeah, something like that.
They should have a good chance of getting a lineman with their first pick, the best lineman in the draft. And I would definitely, if I'm Cincinnati, that's my first priority. Fix that O-line. Because Joe
Yeah,
Burrow, I mean, like you can't have him back there like that. You can't. That's ridiculous.
no.
And I blame the coach too to the fact that you can't have him throw. He had the most pass attempts in the league. Like I understand you want to get him some experience. You want him to throw the ball, get used to it with the NFL and all that. But don't let him throw the ball the most in the league. Like you know what I mean? And obviously Joe Mixon was hurt too, so like the run game was a little compromised. But still, like I feel like they threw the ball way too much and made Joe susceptible to hits. And I think
Yeah.
that was part of the reason too. So let's get the game picks. I won this week. Clean sweep.
Ooh,
So 7-4 now. 7-4. The first
comeback time.
line is going to win because, I mean, at that point. So whoever gets
Comeback
the
time.
line first.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 away. You basically run the board, but I believe in you.
Word, yeah.
I believe in you. I
Okay.
think you got it.
So week 13 this week. Since we're still in week 12 technically, because the Steelers Ravens are playing today. That's a week 12 game, not a week 13 game. There's no Thursday night game tomorrow. So we start off Sunday, 12 o'clock with Saints Falcons, the first game up.
Look at that.
There you go.
I think it could be a trap game, but once again, I don't think it's going to happen. I'll pick the Saints. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I got the Saints too. Taysom played really well against the Falcons this first game, so I'm expecting the offense to look much like that. Again, I don't look at this past week because I felt like that was just a weird game in of itself.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be weird to judge Taysom off of that game or the offense in general because it was just a weird game all around. So I think they're going to play more like they played the Falcons the first time. I think that's how that's.
Yeah, I agree.
Or I'm hoping that's how it goes. Put it that way. So the next game, the Matt Patricia-less Detroit Lions against a Chicago Bears team that's just losing and losing. Mitch Trubisky came back to play. Same old Mitch.
Same old man.
I went back and forth with this one, but who you got?
Let's go with Chicago. I'll pick Chicago.
Okay, I got Chicago too.
Yeah, I think with Matt Patricia, Lions just lost their GM, of course, which doesn't affect them too much, but losing their head coach really doesn't help the morale of a team.
Yeah.
So
it can go either way, though. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, it's just they're both bad teams, so I can't. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and they're going from 2 bad teams to 2 pretty good teams. Cleveland at Tennessee.
Yeah, I went back and forth with this one too. I don't know who you got on that one.
I know who I have, and it's because of one man and one man only. I'm picking Tennessee because of Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is just a beast, and there's no stopping him. So I'll just pick Tennessee.
Cool. What happened was they didn't have DeForest Buckner, their best defensive lineman. So and he's like, he's like in the middle, like the legit middle of the field, right? So
Yeah.
that's where the Titans run the ball. So like the first game, they were able to kind of stop that a little bit to where you didn't have to run the middle of the field, but he wasn't there. So that middle of the field was just open all game. So that was tough for the Colts. I got the Browns and I guess in an upset.
Oh.
I don't know. I think Cleveland. I've been on that Cleveland bandwagon for a while now.
Yeah, I know.
Still on it. They're 8-3 now, which is their best season since 2007 or something, whatever it was.
Yeah, something like that.
Baker's not putting up the big numbers, but they're not asking him to. They're using the run game, much like Tennessee, I think. And I think Nick Chubb coming back and having Kareem Hunt in the backfield, they're able to share the load. Derrick Henry is really getting all the stuff. So I don't know. I just got Cleveland. I feel like Cleveland I got him in an upset. I believe in them.
And look, I'll tell you what. Yes, Derrick Henry is the offense, but they still have good wide receivers. AJ Brown is still a good thing. Corey Davis is still secretly a good wide receiver. So they have wide receivers. Don't get it wrong. It just so happens that Derrick Henry just so happens to be the best power back we've seen.
The tight end too. The tight end's good too for Tennessee. Who's the tight end?
Yeah. I don't know off the top of my head. But I mean, whenever the running back you have is probably the best power back we've seen in the NFL since like Jerome Bettis, it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, but I think the Browns can pull it out. I think the way they play now, they're not asking Baker to throw the ball 50 times a game. They're kind of being a little conservative, but it works for them. And I like their defense. Myles Garrett, Garrett can stop Derrick Henry. I think that's a good
Maybe.
job.
maybe. We'll see.
But I think Cleveland wins this game. Maybe they give Cleveland some respect. 'Cause I feel like they're getting disrespected a little bit. No one's really talking about them. I'm like, they're 8-3. Like, give them some props. It's been a while since they've been this good.
They're good too. Yeah.
So the next game, Cincinnati, Miami. I got the Dolphins in this one. I don't know if Tua's playing or not because of his thumb, but either way, I got Miami.
Yeah, I also have Miami. I know that they were kind of taking a backward spiral, but I think that they bounced back. Of course, it's not like it's against a good team or anything, but still, I think they'll bounce back this week against the Bungles.
Yeah. Next game we have Jacksonville against Minnesota. That was
Yeah.
get hurt last game, but I think he's gonna be fine for this game, so I think he's gonna play.
I mean, I think regardless, I'd be taking Minnesota here.
Okay.
It is interesting that Minnesota does have a chance to make the playoffs, but they pretty much got to run the board. But I mean, they're kind of doing that right now,
Yeah.
And it helps that they're getting games like Jacksonville.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. I'd be interested to see Minnesota make the playoffs.
I don't want to make the playoffs.
I know I don't want them to either because we don't have a good history of facing Minnesota. But
I don't want the Rams to make it nor the Vikings to make it.
and in terms of
Rams will probably make it, but I don't want to play them.
yeah, if I step away from being a Saints fan and just look purely as an NFL fan, it's kind of interesting to see Minnesota go from they were looking really bad to all of a sudden, they have life. So
yeah, Justin Jefferson really that's a great pickup for them. Kind of replaced Diggs in a way.
I mean, look. If I know that we're not talking about them right now, but if you want to talk about the Eagles, they passed up on DK Metcalf and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Their GM needs to go. Next game, Raiders, who was destroyed by the Falcons. They're playing the Jets now in New York. Not going to matter. I think the Raiders are going to bounce back. There's no way the Jets will win this game.
Yeah, I don't think the Jets win this game either. I think I'm done picking the Jets because I don't know. I'm just done.
Yeah, it's not happening. The next game's actually, I think, could be a trap game for the Colts. Colts and Texans. Deshaun Watson is playing at an MVP level, although he's not getting any MVP votes because the Texans suck. But
yeah,
I think the Texans have been playing really well since they fired Bill O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
And this could be a dangerous game for the Colts. I got the Colts still, but I'm hesitant because I think the Texans could pull the upset.
Yeah, here's the thing. Deshaun Watson is playing out of his mind right now. Obviously, we all know that. And I really do think that Deshaun Watson can do it. I really think that Houston can pull off the upset. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick the Texans in this one. Indianapolis Colts, for me, have been kind of falling off.
Had a lot of
and they have. I understand that, but still, it's still something that needs to be looked at. But notably, they have lost Will Fuller and Bradley Roby for PEDs. Which does suck for the Houston Texans because Will Fuller was their leading receiver. But you know what? I still think
Stills. You saw that? They let go of
yeah.
So they just have
I do think that Deshaun Watson can pull through against the Colts, but this is probably the pick that I'm least confident on that I have for this week. But we'll see.
But I still think
mainly because
TJ Watt, it could be a trap game. I really do.
Yeah.
So the next game is the LA Rams versus your Arizona Cardinals.
They lost. They keep losing. This is I have not felt so bad picking the Arizona Cardinals since I picked them to beat the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I'm still picking the Cardinals because I said that I would no matter what.
All right, so you're picking the Cardinals?
Because I believe in them.
Okay.
But I honestly think that the Rams might win this game, man.
It's going to depend. I think Arizona defense can maybe – because Jared Goff, I mean, he's so up and down. I can't put my faith in him. I'm only picking the Rams because of their defense. I feel like they could disrupt Kyler Murray, kind of like what Seattle did, weirdly. I don't know how Seattle did that, but somehow they rattled Kyler. If they can do that, I feel like the Rams could win. but it's going to vary on the defense, in my opinion. So,
Mm-hmm.
give me a good game though.
Yeah,
Next game we have the Giants at the Seahawks. Daniel Jones is dealing with a hamstring strain that he suffered against the Bengals. So I believe their back was Colt McCoy. So either
that's
way,
not a name I've heard in a while.
yeah, I forgot he was still in the league. Either way, I got Seattle winning.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, Daniel Jones could be starting and Saquon Barkley could be starting, and I would still pick the Seahawks.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
So the next game we have the Eagles, who are just I don't even know anymore.
dumpster fire.
Eagles at the Packers again. I'm picking the Packers.
I will also pick. I mean, these are some no brainer picks. I'll pick the Packers. I did see something. It was a Philadelphia fan. He was like, God, if you let the Eagles win the Super Bowl, I'll ask for nothing else. And then it was God, and then I took that personally. So it's really, really, really making sure that Philadelphia gets nothing after that Super Bowl.
Yeah. Next game, Patriots at the Chargers. I have the Chargers in this one. I think Justin Herbert's been great. He's winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's happening. He's been great.
Yeah. I guess we're different on a lot of picks this week because I'm going with the Patriots.
Oh, okay.
I think that the Patriots will win this one. They're coming off of a good win against the Arizona Cardinals, but you know what? I think that they could pull it off. I think that they got a good shot at pulling this one off against
Yeah.
the Chargers,
Yeah.
who have not been looking good, and it's not because of their quarterback; it's because of their coach.
The next game is Denver at Kansas City. Now we're assuming, I believe, Denver's gonna have their quarterbacks in this game. Just imagine if like the line for the Saints game, right? I think it was like a -14 or something, or -15 or something for the Saints game against Denver when they found out they didn't have quarterbacks. Imagine the line if they would have played the Chiefs without quarterbacks. It'd have probably been in the 20s,
Yeah.
like minus.
Um.
So that's crazy.
Once again, another no-brainer here. You know, obviously, if you're not picking the Broncos, you're going to lose money this week. You know how it goes.
Yeah. So the next game is 2 Monday night games now because the Steelers play today. They're not playing Sunday, they're playing Monday. We have 2 Monday night games. We have football team at the Steelers.
Yeah. I got to give props to the football team. They're on top of the division right now, and I really think that I honestly at this point I think that the football team comes out of that division, and I think it's solely because of their defense. However, they're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers this week, and it just doesn't really matter. It just doesn't really matter. I mean,
Giants were my
Pittsburgh's gonna
pick.
win this game.
The Giants were my pick to come out that division, but since Daniel Jones got hurt, I don't know how long he's really going to be out for. I got the football team now in that division, honestly. And Alex Smith has been okay, so I mean,
which is wild. I mean, who would have seen this coming?
yeah. So the real Monday night game, we have Buffalo at San Francisco.
Which, I think that this is going to be a closer game than I'm originally thinking, but I'm going to pick Buffalo for this one.
Okay, I got Buffalo.
But I think it would be closer than just a simple Buffalo for this.
Yeah, San Francisco plays really hard for not like much like
for no reason.
But it's like for what Denver did against the Saints, how they were playing hard, but just I feel like with all the injuries San Francisco had, I feel like they're still playing hard. Like they're not giving up, which I give them a lot of credit for. I really do. Like they're a team that you got to take seriously, honestly. So
yeah.
So the Tuesday game, we got a Tuesday game now. The last game of the week, the Cowboys at the Ravens.
See, for some reason, I'm finding this one to be tricky because Baltimore is just, I wouldn't say banged up, but they got a lot of people that's on their COVID list. And of course, by Tuesday, less people will probably be on the COVID list. But even outside of that, Baltimore has just not been looking good. Honestly, if they were playing any other team, I think I'd pick them. But they're playing Dallas, and Dallas,
they can be sneaky.
it can be sneaky, but I don't think Dallas wins this one. I think Baltimore wins this one.
I think Baltimore's losing tonight. So we picked the Steelers anyway before all this happened. But
Yeah, I mean,
without
it really
Lamar,
didn't matter.
they're going to lose tonight against the Steelers. And I think this would be a good game for them to bounce back from anyway.
Yeah,
I think it's a game to get them back on track. So we differed on, let's see, 1, 2, 3,
4 or 5.
4, 4. I think 4.
4.
Yeah.
And interesting, I think that this might be one of the first weeks that the bye doesn't win any games. What do you think?
No, I think the Bucs going to lose this week. Well, Tampa Bay, I don't know. Tom Brady might throw 5 interceptions today. I don't know. So Tampa Bay might lose the bye.
You're right. Actually, yeah, I think Carolina wins the bye, and I think Tampa Bay loses the bye. Let's go with that. Bye is 1-1 this week.
So those are the game picks. So I did say we're going to talk a little bit about basketball. There's no really big news that really happened, except training camp are starting soon. They technically started already, but they're not really doing anything yet. There's really media days and stuff. Yesterday, they introduced Bledsoe and Adams. They had their media day. Today, I think right now, actually, Zion and Melly are doing their media days. And then tomorrow will probably be Brandon Ingram and Lonzo and whoever. So I think they're really starting camp next week, but still they're all in New Orleans. They're all in the building. They're all doing workouts and physicals still. So that's going. The NBA announced the Christmas schedule. And the Pelicans are on it. The Pelicans are the first game on Christmas Day
Against the Heat.
Now, I don't know if that's going to be their first game of the season because the season does start, I think, on the 22nd. So they might have a game on the 22nd, or I don't know if it'll be the second or first game, but it's one of their first games of the season against the Heat, which is a good matchup, I think. And I think a good test early in the season because the Heat are, defending Eastern Conference champions. I think it's a good test to see where we stand as a team to start out. A game we can win, but also a game we can lose. I don't know if you watched any of the presser yesterday with Adams and Bledsoe. Adams is just a chill dude. Like, I don't know. He's Australian, so I love him already. I love Australians. And he's just, I don't know. I just like, he's got a good vibe. I don't know. That's what I like about him.
Good vibes. Yeah.
So it's gonna be an interesting year for the Pelicans, I think. They reported that Zion has no limitations going into camp, which means he's a full go. So I guess assuming he's 100% healthy, so that's a good sign. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting season. I'm interested to see how Bledsoe fits in and how Zion and Adams play together. I think it's gonna be interesting to see. I think we can definitely make the playoffs. I fully believe it.
Yes. So I've been thinking about this a lot, and we keep saying that, like, the Pelicans are just a couple years out from the finals, which I fully believe whenever I say that. I know that you fully believe whenever you say that. This is the only thing. What do you think we're missing right now as a team, given what we've added in this offseason? With Bledsoe, with Adams, notably, because that's what we've notably added, even with our draft pick. What do you think we're seriously missing right now to go to the finals?
The thing that, let's say we didn't trade Drew, right? The one thing I wanted the Pelicans to do was to get us a better center, an upgrade at center. To me, that was the biggest hole because I feel like our interior defense wasn't good, and I felt like we didn't score enough in the paint, at least with our bigs. We really relied on the three a lot. So I wanted us to upgrade the center. Now, I wanted a scoring center. I wanted like a Drummond or somebody like that. If we can pry him away from Cleveland, but that didn't happen. But Adams to me is an upgrade from Derek Favors, Derek Favors is a good player. I'm not saying he's not, but he doesn't score a lot. Adams doesn't score a lot either. They're about the same in that area. But I think Adams is a better defender than Favors is too.
Agreed. Yeah.
So I really think that if somehow Adams' scoring can go up even just a little bit, which I think is possible, I think this team is improved. I really do.
I do, but again, you got to think it's like what is it going to take to make that push to the finals? Because honestly, if Zion can produce like we expect Zion to produce, then we're not missing at that position. And I think Brandon Ingram is going to continue what he's doing, so I think we're good there.
Well, here's the thing too. Bledsoe is kind of the new Drew Holiday because Bledsoe does a lot of things Drew does. He's kind of, Drew's better, I think, a better player than Bledsoe, I would say.
Yeah.
But Bledsoe does the same things, like good defender, he's a good two-way player. You know what I mean? He could play defense,
Right.
good offense. So we really we lost a little bit, but we didn't lose a lot in that area. I feel like we're gonna plug him in at the starting shooting guard spot probably. With Lonzo. I think the thing we're missing. I mean, I don't know until I see them play and how the season shapes out. But I will say this: imagine if Zion was healthy the whole year last year.
Right.
We would have been within the 5th seed or 4th seed. I really do believe that. So maybe what we're missing really would be a healthy Zion. And if we have that this year, like as of right now, it seems like we do, that might be what we're missing.
Maybe,
We don't know.
but
I don't know for sure. I'm not putting that in stone. We may need somebody else, but I don't know who else. If Lonzo still improves his three-point shot, then he's fine. Bledsoe is a veteran guy. We still have JJ Redick off the bench too.
yeah.
I mean, we have good depth, and we have veterans at the center position, shooting guard position. We have the ingredients. I really do believe that. I don't know what we're missing. I don't even know if we're going to miss anything. I think we might have a perfect team, but just because it's perfect doesn't mean you still can't upgrade it a little bit. You know
Right,
what I mean?
and doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to go to the finals with it. So.
No. We have a really well-rounded roster. I really like our roster right now. It's better than last year's one. I'll really say that. It's just I don't know what we're missing. I can't tell you.
I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I would kind of compare our roster to like a Miami Heat roster, which where you really don't have like a big superstar on it. Like the biggest guy would be a Jimmy Butler, and for us is Zion. But you've got guys that can do what they need to do. But
here's the thing.
I think
if Zion's healthy throughout the whole year, and Brandon Ingram is at an all-star level like he was last year, and Lonzo is improved, Steven Adams has his impact on the game, and Bledsoe does his, JJ does his, all that, and Josh Hart too. The Pelicans, I think, could maybe make a run this year, much like what the Heat did. I know last season was a little different because of the bubble and all that. It was kind of, but still, I think I look at the Pelicans roster compared to the Heat. Are we that much better than the Heat? Or are we that much worse? I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like
I think we're kind of different in the sense that the Heat is very much a shooting team, whereas we're not. It's not that we're not a shooting team, but I mean our focus is on guys like Zion, and the focus of the Heat is on guys like Hero and Butler and Robinson, who are all
team, although they have Bam.
Yeah, but you have Bam, so.
But Zion's more dynamic than Bam.
Right.
So and we're in the West, not the East, so it's a different animal. I wish they put us back in the East, honestly. I feel like we'd have a way better shot in the East. I really do. Like if we were in the East last year, I feel like we would have been in the playoffs.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like they should move us back to the East, but that's neither here nor there. But I don't know. It's gonna be very competitive. I mean, I feel like if we can get into the dance, I feel like we can maybe, make a run.
And I'm gonna be honest. I think that we can really upset a team in the playoffs. Take out a team that people are saying could make a run. I could see it happening. I'm not a pessimist, but I just don't.
Let's say we're like maybe the 5th seed, and we're playing the 4th seed. Let's say the 4th seed's Utah or something. I feel like
I could. Oh yeah, I could see us beating Utah.
I feel like we could maybe upset Denver because Denver really didn't do much this offseason anyway. It's not like they got better or worse. They're kind of the same. I feel like we can maybe upset Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix is a team we can beat. I think we can beat Dallas. I really do.
Oh no, not Luka.
Luka's gonna still have 50 points, but I think we can. And another thing too is Porzingis going to be healthy at that late in the season? Porzingis doesn't have an injury history. So
I don't know. Porzingis seems to be a question mark for the Mavericks.
And Memphis really didn't do much this offseason anyway, which I kind of thought was surprising. They didn't make any really big moves either. So Memphis is kind of the same, and we dominate Memphis. So
yeah. I
mean, so I like our chances against some of these teams. Obviously we're not going to beat the Lakers or Clippers or somebody like that. Even the Warriors, well, it depends. That'd be tough.
I mean, I know that they lost Clay, but they still have Steph. They still have Draymond. They got James Wiseman. They got Kelly Oubre. Yeah,
I feel like there's a lot of teams I feel like are just even with each other right now. I don't see any team like other than the Clippers and the Lakers, and you can maybe throw Denver in there, but I don't even know about Denver. Like the Clippers and the Lakers are the only two teams I'm looking at in the West. I'm like, yeah, they're going to be better than everyone else. and then you have everyone else that's kind of just hodgepodge together. Like I can't say Utah right now is better than Denver, or Denver's better than Utah, or Phoenix can beat us, or you know what I mean. We're all even. I feel like until we see it in action, I feel like right now it's even. Really.
Yeah, agreed.
So I'm excited. I'm really excited for the season. It's gonna be great. And another thing too is the Pelicans play on Christmas, and also the Saints play on Christmas. So we got Pelicans at 12. I think Saints at like 3:30 or something.
Gonna be a good day for Louisiana sports fans.
Good sports day. Santa
on Christmas. On Christmas, Santa got us all a present, and then watch both of them lose the game. We're just like, oh, never mind.
Yeah. I'm excited for this season. I really can't wait. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I really am excited.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So that'll do it for us today. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Remember, follow us on Instagram at Sports Chat with DJ Matt 1. Thank you, Mr. Echo, for your contributions as always.
Of course, yes.
I guess we'll be back next Wednesday for a recap of what happened this past week and then picks for next week.
And any NBA news that happens.
Yeah, we'll report on all that. So thank you guys so much. Stay safe. Don't be stupid. Wear your mask. We're still in the fight. But 2020 is almost over. We're in the last month of the year. 2020 is almost over. Thank God.
We're on the final turn. We're on the final turn.
Right there. Play your Christmas music. It's acceptable now to play Christmas music. So play your Christmas
That's right.
music.
To all those people that was playing it on November 1st, I don't hate you, but
yeah,
don't do that.
Yeah. So get into the Christmas spirit, guys. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy. Stay safe.